about to go to sleep. Yeah.
You was coming at me for that yawning shit earlier. I told you I was good.
I wasn't.
Yeah! Welcome back to another episode of Militia Uncut, ladies and gentlemen. We got K, C, D, and B. Last episode we were talking about toxic people and how to deal with them, and you don't fight cancer with cancer because that's an ugly battle. You don't want to be in this radioactiveness and radiology and all that.
Continue, sir.
In today's episode, we're going to dive more into that topic of toxicity, and we're going to talk about some of the toxic things that are going on in Picture and K's life, and like how he feels with that, how he directly deals with that, and we just kind of want to be there for him and understand, brother. If any of us are toxic to you at any point, we're that flu vaccine, we're that flu shot. We don't mean it. We still love you. You're still a brother. And yeah.
All right. Well. One thing that I came to like a realization about is that I'm a part of the toxicity, and I think a lot of times you have to see where the part you play in it, and at first I was like, it's not more like a victim blame kind of thing, because that's not really what it is, because I don't always feel I'm a victim, but I do feel like I'm around a lot of toxic things, but I put myself in toxic situations. I've realized that, and I've also learned that I don't, if I'm supposed to fight the cancer, I don't spot it early. You know what I mean? It's one of those things where, like, I feel the disease, but I'm not telling anybody. It's more like I'm in denial about it. I'm keeping it to myself, kind of thing.
So you don't really help yourself in that aspect if you keep it to yourself. Yeah.
You want to elaborate on how you put yourself in these situations?
I'm like looking. When you want something really bad and you're out there like looking for it instead of letting things naturally just flow. Like, I have a problem with this because there's a lot of times where I try to just relax, just be in the moment and just let the world tell me where I'm supposed to head, or let God's will play out. Like, whatever is supposed to happen, just let it happen, But I think because I'm searching for a feeling, or I'm searching for a moment, it's like, or I'm searching for a specific type of situation, it's like I get caught up in the pursuit of it. And it's where it's almost like I'm attracted to the pursuit of it and not like actually having it. And that is toxic, because then it's like you're looking for it in the wrong places, or just the slightest bit of attention, you start to think, oh, well, maybe it's this person. And then you try to like force it to happen instead of like letting it just grow naturally. To me, that's me being toxic. And when I find myself in similar situations, I don't tell myself, oh, I've been down this road before, I know what this is. Let me just fall back. I'm more like, nah, I believe I can make this right. I believe I can save this situation. When it's like, sometimes a sinking ship is just a sinking ship. You can't, there's not enough time to put the shit back together. Like, if it's broken, it's broken. You have to save yourself. You know what I mean? I'm not the captain that's going down with the ship. And sometimes, but sometimes a lot of times that's the role I play. It's like, yeah, this is a sinking ship, but I'm the captain of the ship, so I'm going down with it. I'm going to ride that wave until it blows up in my face. I can avoid that. I know that I can avoid that. So that's the toxic part that I play in it. And also, dealing with a toxic situation afterwards. I was in a toxic situation years ago, and the result of that was that I became a less confident person. My self-esteem went down. You know what I mean? And we joke a lot about like, oh, you got to just start being numb, or you know, the world is making me like cynical. You know what I mean? And I've learned that like doing that.
My video guy.
Yeah. The sound effect or whatever, but like the reacting that way still more or less gives that person power like over me, you know? Like now's the time for me to like say like goodbye to people. You know what I mean? It's like I've been in this back and forth situation with you for a while. Now it's like, nah, let me stop. Like this is bad for me. Like let me step away. But and I've learned that I used to look at it as well, if I step away then I'm giving up. But it's like it's not giving up. It's like it's the end of the story.
Well, I feel like
you know
that depends on what you're talking about.
What
if
do you
it's
mean?
something like if you're giving up on a goal, then yeah, you're giving up.
No, yeah, but it's like
it's
no,
something that,
like a dead situation or a dead relationship. If it's
Or
over,
then
it's
yeah,
over.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like with that one girl. I had a super crush on her. How many times did I keep trying to like make something happen with that? Yeah, you know what I mean? That was a dead situation way before I finally was like, all right, let me back off. That was been dead. And I should have known better than to back away. But there was something in me that was like, nah, I gotta fight for this. I gotta make this happen. No, you don't. You don't.
It's over.
Yeah. And it's okay for it to be over. It's okay for a loss to be a loss. And I think I've gotten so tired of losses that like it was like getting to me. But it's like now I'm learning to just accept the loss for what it is, you know?
I've heard advice, I don't know where I heard it, but like accepting rejection gracefully makes you a stronger candidate for the position you got rejected for. Now, whatever that position is, whether it's a relationship, whether it's a job, whether it's an apartment building, just humbly accepting that rejection and just looking forward to bettering yourself from that rejection just makes you that much stronger of a candidate. So just keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Going forward. And that hit me too. I was like, that is deep. So it's like every time I get rejected, it's nothing you did wrong. It's them not realizing that you're a fit.
Yeah.
And then them having, an idea of something that should be there, but you're not always going to be the cookie cutter person that they're looking for, and people need to realize that. Also.
And it was like I came to a realization, but this is why I said toxicity is relative, and sometimes you can be part of the toxic element. It's like if a situation is dead, but I keep fighting for it, then I'm the part that's toxic. They're not really doing anything wrong. You just keep trying to be around something that's not for you. You know what I mean? And remember, how a couple weeks ago you weren't there when we was in the car and I sent that and I made that, took my shot basically and lost. Getting it back from that was like a clear head thing for me, where it was like, you know what? What's for me will be for me, and what's not is not. And it's like, it just accept it. And it's like, I did get my answer. It wasn't the answer I wanted, but it's like, I got my answer. Yeah, you know what I mean? And this last L I just took with this one person, it was more like I finally had a wake up call where I'm like, man, this situation is dead. And this person wants me to hold on to it and wait for it. And it's like, I can't do that because that's toxic. I know what I want. You know what I mean? So, yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with that.
Can you stop? Thank you. I appreciate that.
I thought you were actually asleep.
No, nigga.
I heard it snoring. I don't know. Was that
You were
just me?
snoring.
That's the only reason why I did that.
I mean, I've been punching in the note, but.
Alright,
But yeah, you know what I mean? Like I finally had this one situation that was just like, yo, I'm tired. Like I'm done with it. But it was like I finally did it without being like super, super mad. It was more like, wow, that pissed me off. But you know what? This is goodbye. Like, I'm good. Like, you know, and I'm not bitter, you know, and this is why I say I don't go the route of like I want other people's lives to be miserable, because it's like to put effort in wanting to see them do bad, it's still giving them power in a way. And then it's like if I want them to do bad but they're doing good, you're just gonna be tight. So it's like now it's like, nah, I want you to live your life. Like
you want them to be
like,
good.
Yeah, like be good,
please,
be good.
please.
But just know I'm gonna be good too. And I'm gonna be good, but just without you. Because if you can be good without me and it's not bothering you, then you don't deserve me anyway. I'm good. Like, you know, if it doesn't hurt you that you've hurt me, then I don't need you. I don't need you around. Like, you know, and if you're moving on with your life and you found a situation that worked for you, cool. I'm trying to get there too. And when I get there, I'm gonna enjoy the shit out of it. And you know why? It's because I've gone through so much bullshit that when the great shit comes, it's gonna be such a breath of fresh air, bro, that it's like,
This is what I want.
Yeah. Like, you know it now because you've been through so much. But it's like, if I'm numb, then I won't accept the good things when it comes. And I can't live that way.
We've had that.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I don't wanna be that way where it's like I can't even accept a good thing in my life because I'm so used to the bad things.
And you start bringing up bad things.
Yeah.
And it becomes that cycle of toxicity.
Right.
And like the second, maybe things are going great, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Things are like where you want it to be. And you can't see how great they're going because you're already in this toxic mindset. Now you're gonna go along with it because, you know, this is what you're looking for, but you're still not actively feeling the benefits of what you wanted. It's just like, oh yeah, this is what I deserve. I knew it all along. But the second something goes south, you're gonna then harp on that as like, I knew it. Like, I knew that this was a toxic thing. And then you're gonna let your past like overwhelm the good things in your
and
past.
not every situation is the same, like, you know.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm learning to just let go, learning to just live and let live. Like, you know, you can't. I'm not gonna let you stop me from living my life because clearly I wasn't stopping you from living yours. You know what I mean? So it is what it is.
Hey, my man D said best, choke it till it passes out. And that applies to everything, including toxicity.
Choke toxicity.
I like that segue. I like
You
that.
know,
I like how you did that.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
Choke that.
Choke
like
it till it passes out. And then go harder.
And then go harder. Exactly. And then go harder into the things that, you know, you
Hitting the right
necessarily
things,
want.
exactly.
Yeah, and the right things.
That's the best use of that.
That ass. That is hands down the best review.
Oh man. For real, because you know sometimes you just gotta suffocate the fire.
That's right. That's right. And that's how you fight toxicity. You don't
That's
fight.
it. What you did that.
You don't fight with cancer. You just choke it out.
Yeah.
You figured it out, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. And it feels good. Like I feel like I've gotten a sense of strength back. Like I can be confident and be like, you know what? You're a dub. And honestly,
You're a dumb.
it goes back to what I was saying. Remember when I tried to talk to an old girl in college and I was like, oh, the problem was I put her on the pedestal, like she was the prize.
You talking about E or S?
Nah, it's another girl. It was right before I got with E. And it was like, oh man, it fucked up. But it was like, it fucked up because I made it too important to be with her. Where it was like, this is the big, big win. And it's like, nah, I'm the big, big win. And if you're whack, you're whack. If you don't want the win, then you're just missing out.
Big facts.
And somebody else is going to come and get it because somebody real is going to recognize real. I just happen to be around a lot of fake shit. Or oblivious shit. It's just, you know, you just don't get it. You don't get the good thing that comes with me. And that's not necessarily always a bad thing. I might not be right for that person. But when I find that person that's right for me, going all in.
It's like
Sure,
trying to find. It's like
Not
trying.
that far. No.
We were doing really good.
I feel like I can relate this like. It's like trying to find a treasure in a universe full of infinite different treasures. You know, like all the treasures on the outside are the same, but like on the inside when you open it up, is this the right treasure? No. Now you gotta go to a whole different other universe to find that same exact treasure to figure out if that's the right treasure or not. Some Rick and Morty type shit.
Yeah.
Like some Inception type shit.
Shout out Rick and Morty.
Shout out Rick.
Awesome show. Season 4 need to hurry up.
That's a fact.
Oh boy.
Man. Yeah.
Oh.
Timestamp, guys.
What are we looking at? Like
Cut down to
16.
16. Oh, actually.
That's it? God damn.
Actually, I want to talk about another. Speaking of like alternate universes and whatnot, like that kind of brings me into another topic I want to talk about. Not specifically, space and whatnot, but more along the lines of like here on Earth, like technology and like technology can do so much. Can technology do too much? Like as someone who actually develops technology, I like to when I'm writing something or I'm building something out, I like to give the user as much control over the things that they not as much control, but just giving the user the control that they need. There are certain things that you don't need to have control over, and I feel like that's similar of like AIs. Like we're getting to a point where AIs are so good at their job that you could Google one thing, whether that's ponies, and then next thing you know you're getting ads about ponies, and that's only the beginning. Like there are AIs out there that are real people. I don't know if you saw the memes for this robot Ken or something like that.
I was gonna bring this
it's
up.
like
Yeah,
taking over,
this
get
is
you
what
a perfect
yeah.
person like this.
This is
like,
what I was gonna bring. When I said, when he brings this up, I'm gonna go left with it. I was gonna say, how do you guys feel about the
I
sex
feel like
dolls?
there needs to be a limit, like in the things that can be done. Like, yes, we want to have everything automated, and that would be wonderful. But there needs to be a limit. Like I feel like at a certain point we cannot cap over a certain limit, because not only does that take power away from the people and take jobs away from the people, because then robots are just going to start developing themselves. At that point, they're just going to start building themselves, and we definitely don't want that.
Good question. Did you guys ever fuck a robotic sex doll?
Nigga, what?
No.
Tokyo's gonna go with.
I'm
you wouldn't fuck the human.
I don't know.
The human
I
size,
don't
like
think I would.
robotic.
So the robot that came out like maybe like a year ago is like all had the
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
and like she talks and stuff like that.
I don't know
and,
if
like
she talks, but it's a sex doll. So
I think I would have sex with a sex doll. I wouldn't replace it for like a real person.
yeah, because that's what people. That was like the debate, because people were getting up. Well, not people. Hood rat bitches. That specific demographic, the specific demographic of hood rat bitches was getting tight because niggas was joking around like, oh, you bitches better step your game up, da da da. So it opened up the question like, would you actually replace a living, breathing woman with
Absolutely not.
a sex doll?
Hell no. I don't think I could do it. I don't think I could.
Will say on the flip side, I don't know
Yeah,
I don't know if it was just to like get back at the niggas that was making the joke, but the women were a lot more for replacing niggas with robots than niggas was replacing women with robots.
But see, the thing about that is like, at the end of the day, yeah, I like to have sex with women, but like they're not just sex, Like I like hanging out with them not having sex, like. Call me crazy, but I enjoy that part too. Like
No, definitely.
I enjoy sitting down, having a conversation, and like seeing what you want to do and just planning fun stuff that doesn't revolve around sex. I'm like, yeah, it's fun to plan sex, and like that's kind of like one thing that kind of does get me. Is like, yeah, you guys like sex just as much as us, like, and I really don't like being faulted for thinking about sex all the time because. Spoiler alert, I like to have sex and I think about sex a lot. And I'm sorry, but you know, I can't replace a sex doll with an actual human being.
I will say that I'm definitely guilty of being the type of person that would not hang out with a girl unless I was fucking. Not now, but back when I was younger, that was like like if we weren't fucking, I wasn't gonna be your friend.
Oh really?
Yeah, I was. Well, I mean, I guess that still trickles down till now because now I have a girlfriend. Like I hang out with her, but we do have sex, so.
So it works out.
Yeah.
But I was definitely one of those guys that would never like just hang out. But I wouldn't finesse either. Like I wouldn't make you believe that I was like wanted to be your friend. I let them know like, no, if we're not fucking, I'm not hanging out with you.
I mean that's fair too, you know. You
Marriage
let
system.
them know.
Yeah, it's like I want to hang out with you to fuck. If we're not doing that, then I will find somebody else that will. Like it
Gotta
was
respect
very
that.
upfront, but
That's
I can
definitely
respect
respectable.
I think that's too upfront, but hey,
Why is that too upfront?
I'm not getting any more. You feel me? I'm not pushing no more. I'm chilling.
I still
Relaxing,
think.
listening.
So more going back to like the technology piece specifically, do you think technology is advancing too far, too fast? Do you think?
I don't think it's
like
too. Well, I think too
limit
fast
on
is
it?
relative because it's too fast for who? Because some people would say that, like, alright, when we grew up and we used to see like the future movies,
Yeah.
at like back in like the 80s when the movie came out, they were saying like by the year 2010, 2020, we'd have like flying cars and it'd be like we all saw those movies.
Yeah. Like
So-
everything was a hologram.
Yeah,
like-
so it's just like we don't have that now. Some people would say, nah, we don't really need that shit. But then some people would be like, nah, like what happened to that shit? Like so it's like some people technology might be moving too fast. But then others are like, nah, we're like we still have so much more to do and we should be here. So it's like it's relative to like who you're talking to.
I see. The thing is, I have no problem with innovation. I have no problem with progress. I think the danger of technology is like all in the subtle things. You know, like there's so much stuff that's done electronically that like if you lose the electronic element of it, there's a lot of shit that can just go wrong. You know what I mean? And yeah, it's faster and it's convenient, but it's also like there's a higher risk involved also. Even with like the cameras, like the fact that like Alexa hears what goes on in the house, like stuff like that. It's like in terms of privacy and security, subtly technology is probably getting a little bit dangerous. But it's dangerous because it's so subtle. We don't recognize it because we're still living our lives and we're like, oh no, you know, we need this device and that device and this, that, and the other. They've made it marketable. But like the subtle things that like, you know, and that goes more into like conspiracies or whatever. I'm not really trying to go down that rabbit hole right now, but it's like, you know, it's a dangerous slope if the people who depends on who's in control of the technology and what they use it for. But any weapon is anything that man makes is only dangerous depending on the person who wields it.
This is true. I agree with that. I have a question. Do any of you think that we'll ever go to a time where it's like no technology? Like, do you ever think that we'll get to a point where we're fed up with technology to the point where we just say, nah, fuck this. Let's go the way back.
I think I think we might be split in the way that some people may feel that way and they may branch off and never use technology ever again. But I also think that
There's
technology
people who already live
Yeah, there's
like
people
that.
that do that.
and I think that's true. That can happen and that obviously does. But I think to counter that is technology is so prevalent that it's become addictive.
Yeah.
So like even if we were to be without technology, since we've already had that luxury of having it, people will crave it like it's a drug. Like it's known to like, you know, put dopamine. Like whenever you get a message, like that's like boom, it goes off in your head. That's like a dopamine rush, from you just getting a message.
Yeah.
Or whatever. So like I feel like we're at a point where like we almost can't go without it, to be honest. Like we would have to start over again with a new generation without technology for that to even work.
I mean, even with like I said, it's subtle changes. Like most people don't have house phones anymore. Like it's just landlines. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So it's like if your cell phone is done, who you get in contact with? What way do you have to like reach someone? Because
that's your computer.
If that's electronic also. You know what I mean? Like it's.
Like if the service went down.
You're saying like if your Wi-Fi went out or something.
Yeah.
And then all the telephone lines.
But yeah, I was about to say like if the telephone towers just shut off, like.
It's like it'd be certain kinds of things, but I feel like for us to get to a place where we were like dub check technology, I don't think we would dub it. I think it would be a place where something catastrophic would happen that forced us backwards, and it would be a situation of adaptability once again. But honestly. Cause I tell people this all the time. Damn. Nah, my mom. I should have left. That's on me. But 25, 26, something like that. We can
wrap it up.
Yeah,
wrap
we can end it a little bit. Yeah. But my thing is, if I were to get to a place where like it was no longer necessary, I wouldn't mind. Like I tell people all the time with my social media, if it wasn't for the things that I wanted to do that required a following on social media, I wouldn't have it. Like
I mean, you guys
even Snapchat, like I barely post on Snapchat anymore. Like there's no need. Like I feel like Instagram has become such a big thing. And like Facebook is more for people who want to like write things down and like have statuses. But there's so much stuff that like Facebook, Snap, and Instagram do that are the same. So having 3 versions of the same kind of platform is like, yeah, but I don't really like need it. Like I barely post on Facebook anymore. My regular IG, I take pictures like maybe twice a month, if that. And like the only thing I really use the IG for is like the professional stuff that I want to do. But if it wasn't for that, I really wouldn't be on social media like that. And I'm a person that prefers like human contact. Like I like hanging out in person. I like hearing people's voices on the phone. Like I'm not a texter like that. I'm a texter because the world dictates it so. But like,
I mean, y'all know me. I do this often, and I think last time I did it was my longest stretch, but I went like social media black for like a little over a year.
Yeah.
The last time I had no social media. It was if you didn't have my phone number, you weren't getting in contact with me.
Yeah.
Like that was it. And honestly, that was cool. I like it more like that. The only reason I have social media right now, I had to reboot my Instagram and everything, is because I'm getting back into the music again now. And like you said, for that kind of thing, you kind of need social media now. But other than that, I actually really don't like social media. It gets on my nerves.
It does.
And honestly, that goes back into the toxic thing. Social media supports a lot of toxicity, and I'm getting tired of it. I don't want to be around it. Like the comments I see, the things that people talk about, the things I see, the things that I get like, oh yeah, the things that I get like addicted to. I'm like, yo, this is toxic. Like I remember a day where I wasn't on Instagram, and I got mad shit done because I wasn't on my phone. And I'm like, yo, this is crazy. Like when you see how much time you actually devote to it and then you stop doing it, you're like, yo. When you like when you say like I don't have enough time in your day, take that out. You have a lot of time on your hands.
Take social media out.
Like honestly.
I agree. So maybe that should be a challenge today to be productive. We should probably. I mean, you probably don't spend a lot of time on social media.
Even now,
like I spend
social media still.
I like go like I don't even. It's habit at this point. Like I go on my phone, the first thing I do is like Instagram. Start scrolling through. Even at night, start scrolling through. And the thing is, it's funny. It's relieving. Like I don't know. It's comforting.
I feel like you can check it, but like everything like moderation. Moderation is key.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it just requires less of my time.
Yeah.
And I can put that time into something else. And the goals that I want for my life are bigger than whatever's on social media at the moment. And I just have to look at it that way. Prioritize. And same for you folks. Moderation in everything.
That's the message for today. Moderation.
This was 6, right?
That was definitely
7.
This was 6.
It was 7.
No, because we did 2.